Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash,
Welcome to our Playdate.
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast. There's a lot of looseness happening in the mic today.
Yeah, this one's,
She's real loose. She's just hanging out.
She's a loose girl.
She's loosey-goosey today. All right. That's fine.
We don't judge.
No, we don't. We don't judge. We accept. It's okay. We'll just call her Lucy. That's fine.
A little ASMR on the
ASMR.
on the microphones.
Hey, do you want to do a season finale?
Yeah. Right after I get my drink of my cool sugar-free Wawa lemonade.
Mmm. We're both going with a straw situation today.
Yeah. Yeah. But yours is my metal straw is over on my other cup.
Okay. We are hydrated.
Yeah.
We're sweating.
We're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Don't know why it's so hot in here. But the show must go on.
That's right.
So we will go on. Hi, little ghosties. So welcome to the season finale of season 9 of Playdate with Dash and Allie.
That's right. And we put on our Instagram a couple weeks ago, what type of game would you like us to play?
Mm-hmm.
And the overwhelming majority said a trivia game, which is great because that's my favorite.
Trivia challenge was
trivia challenge.
Right. Which, if you're new to the podcast, the trivia challenge is one that we made up where I basically created this board game of Playdate with Dash and Allie, which you can see here. And we play on this board game, and the first one to make it with our little ghosty figurines.
Yeah. And
the first one of us to make it to the end wins.
That's right. And we just pick a subject that we want to challenge the other person to. But this time we mutually agreed on the subject.
Yeah. And
the subject is podcast. Our podcast trivia. Yeah. So we each prepared 20 questions.
Yeah.
And
I'm thinking a couple of these are going to overlap.
I think they will too. I think they will too.
Yeah.
So I thought of having some backups, but
yeah, well, that's why it's 20 because I think there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 spaces
so
to
we have
win.
11 extras. Okay.
11 extras just in case, and we can go through them at the end. But I would love for you to play along with us. And
are we going to roll our 20-sided die to see which question?
Roll the big 20-sided die to see what we. Go ahead, roll first.
And I would also love for y'all to play along if you know the answers.
Allie got a 20. That's an automatic win. So.
Okay, Dash. What is question 20?
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh, you want me to go by? So I can't do it that way because some of these are reliant on ones that came before it.
Wow, that's on you, bro.
Yeah, it is. Well, just because it's kind of like you're a teacher when you prepare a test. You know how sometimes you prepare a test and then
I don't prepare tests.
Or, well, do you remember taking tests?
No, I've blocked them all out.
Well, I had to take tests fairly recently, and sometimes you answer a question and you're not quite sure whether that's the right answer, but then 5 questions later, the answer to that previous question is in the question. That's kind of what it's like here.
That's poor question writing. Yeah, anyway,
so,
I will.
But you win.
I will save that for my education podcast. That does not.
But
exist.
you won the roll, so that means that you get to pick whether you go first or second.
Oh, I will go first.
Answer first.
Yes, okay. I will answer first.
Oh, trying to get off to a head start. Okay, Allie. Season 1, episode 7, featured our first guest appearance on the show. Who was that guest?
Our first guest on the show was Sherry Whitcoff.
It was Sherry Whitcoff.
Yes.
That's right. Season 1, episode 7. Very good. And you had the same one, didn't you?
I had a very similar question. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you ask me. Our good friend Sherry, who is also in our improv troupe, was in our improv troupe.
Yeah.
And
she was our first guest on the show.
First guest on the show.
Awesome. It was awesome of her to say yes right at the beginning.
Yeah.
When we were just figuring out how we were going to even
I don't think we had even released the episodes yet, because
might
remember
not have,
we
right.
recorded a whole bunch before we started releasing them.
Yeah.
And then
Do you remember what game we played with Sherry?
Yes, I do.
Trial by Trolley.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh no.
Are you just going down? So
Yeah.
you're like number 1, number 2?
Yeah. I'm going down my list.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'll do question number 1.
Okay.
What was the first game we ever played on the podcast?
Oh man. That's literally my next question for you. The first game we ever played was Do You Know Me?
Yeah.
It was a get to know us game by What Do You Meme?
Yeah, you got it.
Boy, I'm glad we prepared for redundancy on this. Okay, Allie.
Yes.
Who was the first game creator we had as a special guest on the show?
So I think the first game creator we had on the show was Jesus. And then we had Hector, and then we had Steven.
So the correct answer is Stephen Rafferty.
Steven was first?
Steven was first.
Oh, wow.
The creator of No Cheese, No Coin. So
Okay.
we had played name dropping, but we didn't have Jesus on the show yet.
That's right.
Yeah. So No Cheese, No Coin, and that was season 2, episode 6 was when we had Steven on the show.
See, and I had a question similar to that.
Uh-huh.
But I had them in the wrong order.
Got
so
it.
I couldn't even cheat for my own questions. Wow. Okay. So shout out to Steven.
Yeah, shout out to Steven. Still doing cool stuff. And he released an expansion pack of No Cheese, No Coin, which I
cool.
have. So we will be playing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, you want to hear something cool? Because you can actually back them right now. When I received the expansion pack to No Cheese, No Coin, Game Crafter, the company that makes all these custom games, they sent me a sample of something called One Card Maze. And it's a maze so it's basically got the maze on both sides, and it's got a start and an end. And the way it works is when you follow the maze off of the card, you have to flip it over and continue on the other side until you're basically just flipping the card back and forth to do this maze until you can get to the end. And it's a super cool little thing, but right now they're like expanding to 4 new expansion packs with this One Card Maze thing. And you can go to the game. You can go on Kickstarter right now and backstart.
So it's a game you can play with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, you're sitting in
That's probably good for your brain.
Yeah, definitely. It's I love puzzles and puzzle games.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to
cut
have.
Cut to us doing connections.
Yeah.
every
morning. I
And-
just did mine now because I'd forgotten to do it this morning.
Yeah, this morning gave me a little bit of a struggle,
Yeah.
but we got there. If you do connections, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know. Okay, so I got a question for you, Dash.
Yes.
Which game company makes Outburst?
Oh no. Is Outburst by Spin Masters?
It is not.
Oh wait, we made fun of this, didn't we? It was like a little company named Mattel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
It's
was
Mattel.
that was my second choice.
Yep, Mattel makes it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you might have heard of them, Mattel. Allie,
Yes.
the prelude to Playdate with Dash and Allie was an Instagram live series we started during the pandemic, named SCP Arcade.
I was hoping that was the question.
No, I knew that was going to be too easy. When did these episodes air?
Are you
time and date.
serious, bro?
You have to remember this. It was a very specific time and date that it aired.
It was 3:05 p.m.
Yeah.
on, I think, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Nice.
Good job.
I thought you meant like what day did it debut?
Oh no,
and I
no,
was
no.
like,
no, I don't know.
No,
I don't even think I could go back to figure that out at this
Yeah,
point.
no,
I have
sir.
to check, but yeah. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we decided at 3:05 p.m.
Yep, Mondays, Wednesdays, and
Yep.
Fridays at 3:05 p.m.
Which is unfortunately why it had to stop, because I had to go back to work, so I could no longer take my break
Yeah,
to go play this game. And
yeah. No, I think I hosted it for about a week or 2 weeks
Yeah.
after that, and then
yeah, things just were opening up.
we
so
should reach out to some of those people and get them on the pod. Anyway,
agree. All right, Allie, go ahead.
Okay, so Dash, question number 3 I have prepared for you.
Mhm.
What was the mistaken name you gave a game when reading its website?
Oh, it was when we were playing Brilliant or BS.
Uh-huh.
Because the website is all lowercase, I thought it was Brilliant Orbs.
Yep. That's one of my favorite moments
Yeah.
on the pod.
Yeah. Because we kept saying brilliantorbs.com, brilliantorbs.com. And then like towards the end of the episode is when we were like, oh, it's not orbs, it's ORBS.
Truly one of my favorite podcasting moments.
Oh man, that was fun. I almost put that as a question too. Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how to word it.
Well, I do write.
Well, you words
things.
good.
Yeah, I do words okay.
Allie.
Yes.
There's only one game that has been played 4 times on our podcast in 9 seasons. What is that game?
A game we've played 4 times.
4 times.
So I know we've played name dropping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't played either of these in a while. The trolley game.
Mm-hmm.
We played that a few times.
Yeah. Trial by trolley. All right.
Are you counting like a Trivial Pursuit versus a Bob's Trivial Pursuit versus
I'm counting it's
The
one game that we've played
so
4 times.
I think it's name dropping.
That is correct. It is name dropping. We played it in season 1 twice.
Mm-hmm.
We played it season 3, episode 2, and season 4, episode 12, which was our 50th episode.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, so you got that right.
We got to play that again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I think we should play that game every chance we get. And Jesus is a wonderful human being. And he came on our show on the 3rd time we played it. Yeah.
Hey Dash.
Yes, Allie.
In what season did we do our live show?
Oh man. Okay. So I'm not going to look down because I know the answer is in here. I think it wasn't that long ago, and it was National Games Month, which is November, and we roughly go through 3 months. So I'm going to say season 8.
Season 8 is correct.
Yes. Yeah, season 8. Way to math. Awesome.
Wow. Impressive.
Thank you very much. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, what a great episode. I wish we could do more live ones like that.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah. I just, I love doing all this like setup microphone stuff. Like setting up the mic, setting up the speakers, and making it all work together. And when it all actually works, it's a great feeling. Allie, what was our first Halloween bonus episode?
Oh, I was looking at the bonus episodes when I was writing these questions. I think our first Halloween bonus episode was Alexa. Was quote Alexa.
Yes, I will give that to you. Yeah,
it wasn't our first bonus episode.
No,
but it was our
first
Halloween
bonus episode. Yeah,
episode.
It was quoth Alexa Nevermore. Yeah, that was a season 3 bonus episode. Yeah, that was such a great little. So you wrote that during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Because it was about like being stuck at home and having a bunch of different restaurant menus at your door.
It's a parody of The Raven.
The Raven,
by
right?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was inspired by our situation during the pandemic, and then a few years later, when we were doing this, we decided, hey, let's actually do it. And I put on my best James Earl Jones voice, and you were the Raven.
Should have been Vincent Price, but
I'm sorry. Yeah, Vincent Price. oh, it's because James Earl Jones did the Simpsons version of the Raven.
Probably,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and you were the Alexa. You did the voice of the Alexa. Yeah.
Hello, Hal.
I'm sorry, Al. Allie.
Yes.
Did I move you up? No, I didn't.
No, it's now I get to ask you, right? Because you just asked me.
Yeah, so you got it right.
I moved up.
So I moved you up. Yeah.
So I'm 1 spot ahead of Dash for anyone keeping.
1 spot ahead.
track.
She is 4 questions away from winning.
That's right. So Dash.
Yes.
Bears have been in the news lately.
They have, for some reason. Unfortunate reason.
What fun fact about bears came up in 2 different episodes?
And the second time came up fairly recently.
Uh-huh.
And it was that a bear's bite is strong enough to crush a bowling ball.
Yep.
And that is such a great fact.
And I would still pick the bear.
I would still pick the bear. You know what? I would pick the bear too, if I'm being
100%
honest.
pick the bear,
I would 100% pick the bear over a stranger.
Right.
Because at least a bear, But like a stranger, you have no idea. They could be
Also, what time of year is it? If the bears
Right.
are hibernating,
Sure.
did they just have cuts?
right. Did they just have eats? Right. Like you don't know. You
Yeah,
don't know.
you don't know.
I would 100% choose the bear in
The
the
bear.
woods. Yeah. 100%. Allie, in season 4,
Yep.
we played a game that wasn't your standard style of game. Instead, we played the game out of a book. What was the game? And as a hint, we also played it on SCP Arcade.
Zamondo, I think it was called.
Very good.
It's
Yeah.
sort of like a Would You Rather
Would you
game,
rather?
right?
It's called Zamondo Would You Rather. It was season 4. It was
Oh
a
my
season 4, episode
gosh.
1 opener.
We should do that again.
I agree. Yeah.
Do you have that? Not here. You don't have the book here.
No, I think the book is at my parents' place, but I also have a game that is the same as Zamondo.
And
Yeah.
I think the game came first, and then they made a book or something, right?
Right, but I don't have the Zamondo game.
Yeah.
I had the book because it was like a gift that somebody gave me many,
And
many years ago.
Also, fun fact about that episode: we didn't record it here. That was before we did video,
That's right.
and we didn't record it in
You're right.
Maverick Studios.
Yeah, you're
we
right.
Recorded
You're right.
it elsewhere.
Yeah, because
Oh, that would have been a good question. How many episodes have we not recorded at Maverick Studios? I didn't ask that.
It may be on here.
Ooh, I didn't ask that, but
Okay. Allie. Oh, no.
Wait, you got it right.
You had, I did get, wait. So, no, you got it right. So
I got it right.
Yeah. Wait, did I get mine right?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, the Bears
Bears.
crush things, whatever. So now you ask me.
So now I ask you, okay,
Yeah.
Dash, true or false? I have been on every single episode.
False. There was one episode that you were not on,
Uh-huh.
which is very important for a question that I'm going to be asking later.
Uh-huh. Speedy is the answer.
In season 1, there were 2 games that we played twice in one season.
Okay.
We already went over.
Yeah.
Name dropping was one of them. What was the other one?
It was Trial by Trolley.
It was Trial by Trolley.
Yeah. I think we played it with just you and me, and
Yes.
then we played it again with
Uh-huh.
Sherry.
Season 1, episode 3 was you and me, and episode 7 was with Sherry.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, going back to what we said about Sherry, the reason we even had her on the show was because like our rehearsal got canceled for some reason.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Hey, do you guys want to just hang out and have dinner?" And we said, "We'll do you one better. Want to be a guest on our show?"
She has also lent us games that we have
She
played on the
has.
show.
That's right. She did lend us a game that
She's a
we
real
played on
one.
the show. Yeah,
She's a real one.
one of our first supporters.
My question for you, right?
Yes.
So I'm one
You're
space
still-
ahead of Dash and
Still one ahead.
2 away from winning.
Yeah.
You know the answer to this.
Okay.
But I just love the story. Dash, how did we become a pro shuffling podcast?
It's one of my questions too. After we were already recording here and we had I got COVID, and I think it was the second or the third time that I got COVID. We couldn't meet up, and we desperately needed to record an episode because we had already reached all of our canned episodes. And we were like, well, we have to drop off some cards. I'll pick them up outside without having any contact with you, and then we'll just play over virtual, and hopefully our little ghosties will forgive us. But we start playing this game.
Well, it was a brand new game. Yeah. It was a brand new game. So it was fresh out the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, I think, 2 sets of cards for 2 different games. And I was like, I'll just give you half the cards for each one.
Right.
And then we'll play it on Zoom that way.
Yeah. And one of them, no problem.
No problem.
The other one, though, was Stupid Deaths. And you just split the deck in half and gave it to me. And
pause. I didn't. I split it almost perfectly.
You did.
Half.
There was one card.
I just guessed.
Yeah, there was one card off.
I'm impressed by that.
That was very impressive. Yeah.
I'm impressed.
But it was so the point of the game, if you don't want to go back and listen, but you totally should, is
we played it.
Played it twice. Yeah. The second time was Stupid Deaths Redemption. But the way we played it was so the way the game works is it describes a funny or weird death, and then you have to choose whether it's true or false.
Mm-hmm.
But because we split the game exactly down the middle, I got all the false cards, you got all the true cards. We didn't realize it until halfway through the episode, and at this point we're like, all right, we're here. We just released the episode and it was fine, and it was fun. You know what I mean? Like
we discovered, on air that.
Yeah.
And so from that day, we learned the lesson: before you split the cards, you have to shuffle the cards.
And that's how we became
a pro shuffling podcast.
So funny enough, my very next question was, our now motto Pro Shuffling Podcast happened because we didn't shuffle cards or what game?
Stupid Deaths.
Yeah. Allie,
Yes.
on our On the Road episodes began in season 5. What was the first game we played on the road?
It is the answer to the next question I was going to ask you, which was Shotgun
yep.
on the Road.
Season 5, episode 10, Shotgun on the Road, which was a gift from...
It was a gift from my friend Tiffany.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Tiffany.
It's literally meant to be a road trip game.
Right. Yeah.
Right? That's why it's called Shotgun, because you call it Shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to play it with more than just you and me.
Yeah,
in
agreed.
the car.
Agreed.
But yeah, that was the ninth question I was going to ask you. So I will
That's
go ahead
amazing.
and skip that one.
Great minds think alike. What's funny to me is that not only are we jumping in each other's questions, but they're almost in the same order too.
Yeah, that's wild.
And I jumped around. It wasn't like I went in order.
Okay, so the 10th question I already said in the discourse of this conversation. So I'm going to... Ooh, number 12 is really hard.
Oh, no. Okay.
So if we get there,
yeah,
I'll go with number 11. Okay. How many bonus episodes have we released?
Oh, that's... so we've done a Christmas one. We did our first Christmas one. We did Quoth Alexa Nevermore. We did... I can't count, so I got to take a guess. I'm going to say we had the 2 April Fool's ones, so that's at least 4. There was a second one for Halloween, so at least 5. And there's got to be one I'm missing, so I'm going to say 6.
There were 5 by my count. We did one that was like corrections bonus episode.
That's right.
Then we did one Halloween.
Yeah.
We did 2 April Fools and a Christmas.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
That sounds right. That was almost a question I was going to ask, and I decided not to. Going off of the last question that you answered, Allie, our first On the Road episode featured us playing Shotgun.
It sure did.
Yeah. Where were we headed on that trip?
I knew you were going to ask me that question.
There's only a few places that we've been on the road. So
I think we were maybe heading to Tampa or Ybor. Were we heading to Tampa or Ybor?
We were actually heading towards West Palm Beach.
Okay.
I believe it was the West Palm Beach Improv Festival that we were headed to.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We played 2 games on that trip. So I know it had to be somewhere far enough that we could get 2 games in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Wow,
all right.
West
So
Palm
I have
Beach.
a chance. I have a chance to catch
I knew.
up.
I was like, I should review in my memory where... It's weird to study your own podcast for your own podcast, but I knew, I was like, he's going to ask me where we were going.
Yeah.
And I don't think we say it in the episode.
I feel like
Maybe we do.
We had to, because that's how I got the answer to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this was in an On the Road episode.
Mm-hmm.
It was in our only out of state recorded episode. We agree that there is a specific name that there should be many more of. What is that name?
That's really hard.
I know.
Oh, no. Yes, because the question was, are there more of this or are there more of this name?
We were playing more or less.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It is in the more or less episode.
Oh.
It's an On the Road episode.
Yes, it is. And I was like, there should be more of this name. Oh, God. When it was a really great... Chesterfield?
No.
No. Clancy.
Wesley.
Yes.
It was Wesley.
Wesley sounds right. Oh, no. My chance to catch up, and I blew it. That was a really hard question.
It was a very hard question.
I almost don't want to ask you this one because I feel like this is the one that's going to give you the win.
I mean, I'm 1 question away.
Right, exactly.
You're 2 questions away.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I feel like we should go over these anyway, even though if you win. Game designer and math teacher Hector Suko recently attended one of our improv shows.
He sure did.
And even came up on stage for Superhero Sidekicks. We played his game and interviewed him on the podcast. What was the name of his game?
It was Now You're Dating.
That is correct for the win. Allie wins. Now You're Dating was the game, and that was season 3, episode 7.
That's
So
right.
congratulations, Allie wins. But you know what? We went through a lot of trouble making up these, so we'll just go through these
All
questions
right.
anyway.
Dash, how many guests total have we had on the pod?
Ooh, we have had, by my account, because it's one of my questions too, 15.
15? I counted 13.
Oh, well, it depends on how you're counting them. Like, are you counting cousins as one person or two?
2.
Really?
They're 2 individual people.
Right. So here's what I have.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Uh-huh.
I have Sherry.
Yep.
Matt.
Yep.
Stephen Rafferty.
Yep.
Hector Suco.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Reyna.
Yep.
That's 5. Max and Skylar.
Mm-hmm.
The Zadek sisters. Alexandra and Angelica.
They were on an episode?
Yeah.
What episode?
I don't have the episode listed here.
Because they weren't on an episode.
They were on an episode. We totally had them on an episode. Oh, Boombox. It was the Boombox episode.
I think you're lying.
I'm not. It was what's on the list. We had cousins. That's 11.
Alex and David.
Uh-huh. Joe, when we played Joe Name
Mm-hmm.
It. Anthony Francis. Santiago, that played with us on the live show,
Mhm.
and Speedy, who was a guest / co-host. So yeah, if you forgot the Zadak sisters, the answer is 15.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go back and look. That's what it was on the spreadsheet. So I believe my spreadsheet.
Well.
I'm a freak in the sheets, Allie.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
truly. The spreadsheets. Hey-o.
Yeah. All right. My turn.
All right, I can see that one.
Okay. Dash biasedly has a favorite episode of the podcast. What is that episode?
The wrestling trivia. That's
Incorrect.
not? Really?
No, my favorite episode is the one with Bob's Trivia where we play with Bob's credits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been my second
Oh,
guess.
dude, let me tell you. Number one, I love Max and Skylar from
They're
Bob's credits.
Truly the nicest people.
They're so nice. And I listen, they're one of the few, I listen to 3 podcasts, ours, theirs, and the Wrestle Talk recap of the wrestling show that happened that week. Those are the 3 main podcasts I listen to. When I run out of those, I'll listen to My Favorite Murder with Georgia and Karen. But Bob's credits, I love them. I love the podcast. I love that episode because it deals with my favorite topic, Bob's Burgers. I love that they said yes to coming on our little fledgling podcast, and they didn't like big time us or anything. Like, so wonderful.
They're
And
just wonderful, nice human beings.
Yeah.
If you like Bob's Burgers, go listen to
Yeah.
Bob's credits. Get up in their Patreon.
Yeah.
They're really kind, lovely, wonderful people, and their podcast is very soothing
Mhm.
and calming,
Yeah, definitely.
which is helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Allie, go ahead.
Dash, what's my new favorite historical fact?
Your new favorite historical fact is that Napoleon lost a battle against a horde of rabbits.
100%. It is the best thing I have ever
Which
heard.
I used a combination of free Renaissance paintings, AI, and Photoshop skills to recreate that moment.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah. So
I
if
must
you
say.
go back into our Instagram at Society Circus, check into the carousels and you will see the image of Napoleon running away
It's beautiful.
from the bunnies. Allie,
Yeah.
what game did we play for our 100th episode?
Are you serious? Because that's my next
Oh,
question
seriously?
also.
Yeah.
Yep. It was Goblet Gobblers. It's literally question 15 for me.
Wow, it's 14 from
That's
me.
so
Yep.
funny.
Season 8, episode 10 was our 100th episode, and we decided to play basically an advanced version of Tic Tac Toe just so we can talk. Yeah.
So funny that we asked the same questions.
And in the same, like they're always like one off of each other. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. My next one was how many guests do we have? So go ahead.
Okay, and let's get talking on the road.
Yes.
I reveal my 2 crappy superpowers. What are they?
Your 2 crappy superpowers.
Because I think the question was like, what superpower do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And I said I already have 2, but they're crappy.
Oh, right. Wait, was your pancreas being broken one of them?
That's not a superpower.
That's not a superpower, right?
That has to do with my pancreas being broken, though.
Right. You're really good at measuring carbs and things.
Guessing carbs and things. Mm-hmm.
And
Like I have a Rolodex of the amount of carbs and things in my brain.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember the other one.
I'm a super taster who hates cilantro.
That's right. You are a super taster who hates cilantro.
Yeah.
I figured that as a weakness.
No, it's a superpower. I didn't say it was a good one.
Yeah. Allie.
Yeah.
What was the theme of our first challenge episode?
I think I challenged you, and it was...
You did.
I challenged banned books. It was banned books.
Correct. It was Banned Books, season 7, episode 10.
Yep. And I think you still owe me a challenge.
I do. I still owe you one challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this was the little ghosties who picked this, not us.
Speaking of challenge, Dash, what do you say every time I challenge you on a pronunciation or phrase?
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah. It's very annoying. It is extremely annoying.
I've heard it both ways. I just love, that comes from the show Psych. And I love that show. But you just give me so many opportunities to use that line. Nobody else in my life gives me that opportunity but you.
You are not welcome.
Allie, as of this morning, what was the most viewed episode of our podcast on YouTube?
Well, this morning I didn't check.
But we talked about it recently.
We talked about it recently,
Yep.
and it was Good Puppers.
Uh-huh.
And the one after Good Puppers.
It was actually the one before Good Puppers.
But
that one, so the one before Good Puppers actually has one less view, which is funny.
When I looked, they were both the same number.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask it
question.
as a question.
Yeah.
But then I was like, no, he just told me what they were. So
Right.
one is Good Puppers. So I'm just gonna say Good Puppers.
Yeah, Good Puppers. So Good Puppers is the first one at like 148, and then the next one was Hip Town with 147.
Hip Town, that's right. That's
Yep.
right. That's right.
And that was season 6, episode 10.
I think people were expecting dog content.
They were, yeah,
Sorry.
probably. But why Hip Town? Like, Hip Town has an equal number of views, and it was like the one right before it. So
Because
that's,
obviously we're the coolest.
I guess, yeah.
There's multiple answers,
Okay.
and I'll accept any of them. What is one thing I've learned about wrestling from listening to you on this podcast?
Let's see. One thing you've learned about wrestling. Hopefully you've learned that WrestleMania uses Roman numerals to name their thing.
It's not one of my listed, but I
Okay.
feel like all sports use Roman numerals.
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
that's a good point.
Not really exciting.
What did you learn? You learned. I'm trying because I talk about wrestling all the time.
Mhm.
You learned that parts of it are scripted and parts of it are improvised.
No, I knew that before.
Okay. You learned. I
There's
don't-
so many answer options.
know.
You're really messing it
I
up.
know, because I don't know if I've taught you about the really like gory stuff. Have you learned that the chairs are real? They're not fake. Most people think they're fake.
A lot of this stuff I knew before.
Okay, so I don't know. Show me. What
Okay.
did you learn?
One, that there are more wrestlers than Hulk Hogan.
Okay, yes.
I knew there were like 4.
Okay.
But there's apparently more wrestlers than Hulk Hogan. How a Royal Rumble works.
Okay.
That
yes.
Drew Carey was once tossed out,
This is true.
eliminated in a Royal Rumble.
Facts.
Title belts are updated around every 10 years or so.
Yeah. See, I didn't know
And-
you would have learned that.
And the deep and the deep and intense emotional saga of why and how the WWE changed its name from WWF.
We did go over that. Yeah.
We sure did. The World Wildlife Federation is
Fund.
Yes.
Yes.
Is
Yep. Oh,
they're the villains in the story plot
Yeah.
twist.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
What?
I'm kidding.
Isn't that crazy? Like
They're not, I'm
They're the
kidding.
ones who were evil and were like, no, you can't have those initials. Even though like nobody is thinking about pandas when
Yeah.
they talk about WWF. Anyway, Allie, what is the most listened to episode of the podcast, excluding video views?
I think it's our first episode.
Correct. Episode 1. Do you
Yeah.
know me?
That makes sense.
Mhm.
That's where people start, right?
Yeah.
What Shakespeare play seems extremely brutal? I've never seen it or read it, but it given the Shakespeare game we played, I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, she's a brutal one.
Yeah. I want to say it was Cleopatra?
No.
No. Cleopatra and Anthony? No.
Titus Andronicus.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you haven't seen it. That's right.
I'm gonna search it up. And
Yeah.
I hate it when people say search it up. I'm gonna search it out. I'm gonna see if I can
Yeah. I wonder why
find a movie.
I don't think they've ever made a
something.
movie of Titus and Andromeda.
I don't.
Or maybe
They
like
might
a
have
remake.
done adaptations or
like The Lion King.
Yeah, but I mean, I could just read it. I have the.
Sure.
I have all the plays.
Allie.
Is this the last question?
I have 2 more.
Okay, I have one more for you.
Okay, but you've got these, right? Like you're gonna get these. We've only ever recorded 1 episode outside of the state of Florida.
Yeah.
What state was that?
That was in South Carolina.
Correct. Season 8,
Yeah.
episode 2, which was more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dash.
Yeah.
From that same episode,
Uh-huh.
we talk about what I would call my gas station if I had it. What would I call my gas station?
Oh man. I don't remember this conversation at all.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
What would you call your gas
The
station?
suck and pump.
Oh, that's like
Because it's so good.
it is good.
It's
I
so
kind of want to
good.
make a t-shirt of it now.
Yeah. And you had the same reaction when I said it the first time, which is why I wanted it to be a question.
That's so beautiful. I'm so glad you brought that memory back in my head. My final question, which you're going to get, is what was the game we played on the Lost episode?
I was going to ask you this question too. It was more or less.
It was more or less.
More or less on the Lost episode.
We recorded an on-the-road episode of us playing more or less, and it was such a good episode. And then somehow the file got corrupted and it wouldn't let me play any video.
It started
or audio.
watching YouTube and then it just quickly went and became radicalized.
Yeah.
And now
it tried to storm the
just
Capitol.
It was really doing a lot. And we said, you know what, buddy, you need to take some time and reflect and think about some things.
I am so sad. Like, I really hope I can somehow decorrupt that file and get that episode back because it was so much fun playing.
Maybe
that on
we'll
the
get
road.
a deprogrammer called deprogrammer on it.
Maybe we'll get one of the
Phil
IT
will
guys.
talk to him.
Yeah, I'll talk to one of the IT guys at work. I'll slip them a 20 and just be like, hey, can you?
There's got to be guys who do projects like that on the side.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, listen, if you're living in Miami, you have your main hustle and your side hustle and maybe another side hustle. So.
Right, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. All right, everyone. So that was Playdate Podcast Trivia Challenge about our Playdate podcast.
Yeah. Did you know more than us? Tell us.
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments if you knew more than we did.
Are you a solid listener? Did you know most of the answers to these questions? We'd love to find out and know about it from you. We'd love to hear from you in general.
And if you're just joining us, we have 9 full seasons. This is the end of season 9. Get into it. You can hop in anywhere. You can start from the beginning. You can write down the episodes that we referenced and listen to those. Get into it.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us for nine whole seasons.
Yeah, we love you. Thank you for joining us. If you love us and you've joined us this whole time, we've got t-shirts. You can check us out at playdatepod.us. We've got t-shirts. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. It actually helps us a lot. And check out our improv stuff. We've got some improv stuff coming up. Lots of good stuff.
Yeah. And reach out, y'all.
We love hearing from you.
Let us know. Let us know what's up.
Yeah, leave us comments. All that stuff helps us in the algorithm to get more views.
Yeah, Al Gore loves interaction. He loves it. So the more you interact, the more Al Gore is pleased.
Yes, correct. So until next time, little ghosties. Bye. Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy,
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns.
We must please Al Gore.
He invented the internet.
He did.